praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Hashem, Wadawadas. And as you can see, man, World War III is heating back up. You know, it is heating up, man. You know, we're getting closer and closer getting out of here. And when I say we, I'm talking about the elect, the hopeful elect. You know, because we're the only ones who actually want to leave Babylon and get out from under the thumb of the so-called white man. You other tribes don't want to do it. Mentioning the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, especially here in Babylon. You niggas want to stay going these jobs. You want to retire in 2 years. You know, you want to open up that barbecue restaurant. You want to beg Esau, Edom, a so-called white man, to give you a business loan. You know, but little do you know, all this is about to come to an end. And Israel's going to finally be on top, where they deserve to be, where they supposed to be. You know, as you can see, Trump has gotten himself into some trouble. You know, he making lies on why they struck Iran. You know, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, just doing what he does, man. You know, constantly lying. You know, you can never get a straight answer from this man. You know, he has lies within lies. You know, he sets lies up years down the road, you know, in advance to help, you know, to help his lie out, man. to put it frankly. And you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, have jumped from one plantation to the other politically. You know, you was on the Democrats for a while. Now you niggas done ran to the Republicans. And as you see, the Republicans ain't nothing but pieces of shit too, man. There's only one constitution for the Israelites, man. And that's the scriptures, the Bibles, the law, statutes, and commandments. Not this other laws that the Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, that came up with, you know, outside the Bible. You know, he writes his own laws, and then he writes them, makes them, and breaks them. But now when we get to the kingdom of heaven, we're all going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments like a reflex, man. Just like how you breathing and your eyes blinking, that's how we're going to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the ordinances in the kingdom of heaven. You know, so we need to look forward to going to the kingdom of heaven. I'm talking to the elect right now. I ain't talking about you 2/3 of the nation of Israel. You niggas don't want to go nowhere. You niggas want to be an American. And as for me, I want a place to call my own. You know, and that's Jerusalem, Israel, man. Like we used to do. You know, these fucking crackers like to say, oh, why don't you go back to where you came from? Yes, I'm trying to, devil. I'm trying to get back to where I came from, and that's Israel, Jerusalem. But first, them rats got to get out of there first, man. But let's get some precepts. This is Colossians 3 and 2. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Yeah, so set your affections on things in the heavens, man. You know, as in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, don't set your affection, your cares, you know, your wants, your desires about earthly things. Because all this is going to disappear eventually. You know, a spiritual man ultimately wants the kingdom of heaven. You know? Yeah, we in this world. You know, Jake like nice things. You know, speaking about myself in particular, you know, if you get a nice little change, Jake want to get a car, maybe a house, some nice clothes or something. But as a spiritual man, a man of the Lord, you willing to give all that up. Just like you bought it, you can get rid of it. You ready to leave it behind. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing but plastic and junk, man. These cars, these clothes, this money cannot get you into the kingdom of heaven. It cannot buy you a ticket onto those so-called UFOs, man. The chariots to be delivered. So yeah, use the world, but don't abuse it, man. Yeah, so if you get a little money, or you saved up some money, you want you a nice swanky ride, want you a nice little ride or something, nice little car, truck, whatever. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta be able to get that up though. You can't be, like the scripture say, the love of the love of money is the root of all evil. So you can't be just basing everything on money and material objects here, man. Because, which we're going to get into in a minute, that all this is temporal, man. The women. All this is temporal, man. The hoes, I ain't going to even call them women. These hoes, these clothes, these cars, this fiat currency. All this is temporal, man. So set your affections on things above, as in the kingdom of heaven, which the kingdom of heaven is going to be here on earth, where we're going to have new bodies, we're going to rule forever, live forever. And, and you can actually have women that are virgins, man. This 2 Peter 3:10 says, but the day of the Most High, or the day of out of one, will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and that's coming from the thermonuclear ICBM missiles, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works therein shall be burned up. Yeah, everything you see here on the earth, particularly in Babylon and Israel, is going to be burned up in various parts of the country. Various parts of the world is going to be burned up, but especially here in Babylon, America, it's going to be burned to a nuclear crisp, man. It's going to be annihilated. Nothing left. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. Yeah, seeing that all these things going to be dissolved, do you hang on to your cryptocurrency, saying, oh no, I want to stay here in Babylon, I got me a new car, I want to hang on to that, I want to take that with me? No, you let all that shit go, man. You don't have no feelings, emotions towards it that's keeping you from being with Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. So what manners of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Yeah. And all holy conversation in your conduct, man. You got to have good conduct in this truth. You can't be a nigga in the truth and a nigga outside the truth, man. You have to carry yourself as a man of the Lord in this truth. You have to be, and in other words, man, you got to practice what you preach. You can't be a lamb on the camera, and then you take the camera off you. You out here smoking dope, eating pork, committing adultery. You just being a 100% demon nigga, man. A demon nigga. Verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So it's Peter started drilling that point, man, that, hey, it's going to be some fervent heat, man. And that's the best way he could describe it, because, he knows that this place known as America, he didn't know it was America at the time, the name of it. but he saw a place that was going to be burned to a crisp with fervent heat. And we're in that place right now, American Babylon, and various other names. It's going to be like Sodom and G, but worse. This place is going to be fucking grinded down to the damn foundation down there, man. To the foundation. There's going to be big craters and nothing but desert animals and creatures are going to inhabit this place. So you don't hang on to anything here in America, man. Family, friends, material things, material gain, wealth. No. When the time the fan hit, man, let all that shit go, man. Let it go, because it's going to leave whether you hang on to it or not, Jake. But for us to elect, man, hang on, keep on pushing, man, and keep the faith, and pray that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua have us endure to the end. Because that's what it's about, enduring to the end, where you could be saved, man. But, I pray this video was edifying to the elect, man, who scattered all over the world, man. Hang on, man. Let's just watch this World War III unfold and get out of it. And Lord willing, we out of here, man. Maybe the end of this year or going into next year. But I pray this video was edifying to the elect. Like I said, man, hang on, and that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, keep us, on his mind, man, and his thoughts, So that's why the scriptures say, man, we got to keep on praying, man, so we stay on the Mosai's mind, roughly paraphrasing, man. But, before I get out of here, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua Bahashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.